Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John. This is many a truder. Welcome to Model Builder, a game which, okay, you've got 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count. Okay, let's start nice and small, just a miniature, and this game gets it, okay? You don't just get given something to paint, alright? Getting it out the box, that is, oh, that's half of the bloody joy. No. I don't think ours is gonna look like that. That could be a good starting point, but no, that's incredibly bloody boring. So let's just pull you over to here, buddy, and now we get to cut him out. We're just saying, okay, the shield's got to be cut out, so we just need to chop this, and chop this, and chop this, and there we go. Now I can paint the shield individually, if that's what I want to do. So honestly, if the game was just this, that would already be 10 out of 10 game of the year. It's the most satisfying thing in the world. But for now, let's just start off with, yes, the ground he's going to be standing on here. Now, there is an incredibly detailed instruction booklet telling you precisely how to recreate the picture in the instructions. But no. My dragonborn male fighter is not standing anywhere near interior green. My bastard, he lives in a volcano, alright, because he's badass like that. Yeah, dirty red, and we'll just pop a little bit of, say, black on these. Yeah, we'll start all the details being black, and we'll work from there. Now, over to the pattern tool, because yes, if he's going to be standing on lava, which he is, because he's a badass, that's got to have the right combination of reds, oranges, and blacks. So, yes, that's a good pattern. Obviously, that seems pretty good right there. And then we could just say, yeah, good combination of some red, some black, a nice little bit of dirty yellow, put some burnt orange in the middle, then just set, yeah, level of detail versus level of smoothness. Get that right down. Now this, with the 3-tone pattern, with just red, orange, and yellow, yeah, that looks nice and fiery right there. Now, the leaves. The leaves are a bit of a tell that my dragon doesn't live in a volcano. He just says he does online, and occasionally sets up a corner in one room to look like a volcano. So we're gonna have to do something about that. So I do have access to, yes, a file in order to file off materials, leftovers from spruce pot. Got myself some sandpaper to remove scratches and a polishing cloth to make things nice and shiny. Okay, what if I used the file, nice and small, zooming right, slightly just scratch the thing there, that's all absolutely fine. But if I could use this to get rid of some of the details on, yeah, the actual leaves right here, make it very, very strong indeed. We might be able to pass these leaves off as, like, floating stones or something. Okay, I'd say these 2 we can now pass off. This one's a bit of an unsure one, so, okay, we'll just put that one on the back, and it's going to be fine. So, back over to my pattern tool. And now I need to do some individual painting, because, well, so we've made a bit of a mess on, yeah, this area around here. Just back over to the, yeah, sandpaper. Very small, but very strong. There we go. That's nice, just to make sure that's all nice and smooth. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Right, over to the airbrush. We now need to have, yes, black will do very nicely. Be aware, of course, this is a 3-dimensional item. So you've got to be a little bit careful. You get it from every single angle. Otherwise, there's going to be bits underneath that haven't been done. Now, the platform. He absolutely 100% needs to be standing on a platform that's like, you know, not lava. He's badass, but he's not, I'm just going to stand on lava badass. Like, maybe he will step on the lava just to prove how badass he is, but he doesn't do it, like, all the time. So we can go for a bigger brush for this. This is going to, yes, obviously spray a little bit. We're going to need to, okay, down the tiniest amount here. We're going to need to fix this, but don't worry, there's a brush we can use for this nonsense. It's all a-okay. Here we go, the wash tool. So therefore we can highlight depth of recess, crevices, etc. Put a bit of burnt... Oh, yeah. Right here. Oh, that's beautiful. That's such a lovely glow effect from below. That's beautiful. And actually, you know what? I like that for the cracks in the lava too. In fact, I like the dirty red more than I like the... No, that might be a bit much. That's a bit much against the orange. Like, I'm okay with that. Maybe copper. What do I feel about... No, copper's... It's not bright enough. The orange was the right call. Against the yellow, the orange. Against the more orange over here, we go red. I don't think the base should be the same colour as the rest of it. I think that should be, like, something else. Like, not full-on black, but maybe... Yes, a... Ooh, red-brown, you say? Okay. Can the fill tool do this? Yes, the fill tool can do just the base without everything else, and... I don't like that. That's too much. We need something that's a bit warmer. Oh, now this'll do. Burnt metal. So, put that in right there. That's a really nice starting point, actually. Though, the fact it's a bit shiny... Is lava shiny? I don't know, but I feel like it should be. What I also want, however, is, yeah, maybe a bit more of a general pattern. Okay, I'm pretty sure there's a pattern tool. There's a painting sponge, effects. Okay, rust might work, actually. We've just got to turn down the strength a bit, just so it's not so strong. Bit of a... Oh, now that's... Yes, just a little bit here. That's a bit too much. All down to 1.4. Just like for a little bit of speckled colour. Just going to put a little bit on there, a little bit on there, a little bit on here. Kind of sprayed the side there. That was a bit, arguably a bit too big. And as I say, I did just spray the sides. You know, I think I might be able to get the same effect by just going over to the airbrush. But turning this... way down. Like just a few specks of this dotted about, especially on the reds and over to here. So that is the base. I've spent a lot of time on the base, but I think that's a really cool volcano base and so much better than this garbage in the instruction booklets. Okay, next up, bring my lovely little guy into play. It's time to cut him out, so just slash, and I was hoping for at least one more there, but what can you do? So just you, buddy, we're going to be bringing you onto the table. First things first, his skin colour, and I don't think anyone's going to be too surprised. Oh yeah. Laser magenta. So we can put that on the skin with the fill tool straight away. Now I'm feeling it as the armor is made from volcanic stone, presumably, or like stuff hammered out of volcanic stone. A black would be good. That is, yeah, quite a dull black. We've also got ourselves... that's going too much towards the brown, the burnt umber. Carbon black ink. That is, yeah, really shiny. That might be a bit much. I'm gonna be honest, that's a bit too showy. I feel like the pattern tool's the right way to go here. Not one single colour, but I can set the pattern tool to only hit a particular layer or fragment. So I could say a particular pattern on his armour, or his straps, or indeed... yes, the spikes of his tail, or the scales. What are the shoes, by the way? Okay, the shoes are part of the buckles. Okay, there's distinct layers of buckles. There's also shoes versus the rest of it versus, yeah, scales versus tail scales versus ears versus... Okay, there are many different layers. Got it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like just the, yeah... volcano armor, but it would match what was down below. Keep an eye on that. That might be worth thinking about for maybe a part of his weapon. Oh, now this will work as a base coat right here. So, a pattern where we've got plenty of the shiny black. Up on the shoulder, just the slightest bit of metallic dark blue. The metallic dark blue I really rather like, actually. In fact, yeah, I'm putting that in on 2 of the 4 slots. So there's a bit more of that really dark blue. I was not thinking blue, but we're putting that on. Okay, call me crazy, and I might decide to modify some of this down the line, but I'm really leaning into the blue. I really like a bit of turquoise right there. Now, in some places I think that looks good, in some places not so much. I think it complements up north really well, down bottom, no. And then noble gold for the fastenings. Now that works. That works against both the kind of bluish black and also the copper down below. That's actually... Ooh. We'll have noble gold right there. And then maybe the... Yeah, I think that works better. Okay. What are we going to do with his gigantic overcompensating codpiece? I'm going to start with superconducting copper or something. Though I'm going to adjust that by hand. Okay. For his, like, scales and horns, I am okay with the white. Maybe it needs to be a slightly off-white. Like, say, oh yeah. Yeah, right there. Not the armor, though. Don't mess that up at this point. Like, how do I feel about this for most of that? Then just some carbon shiny for his nostrils. And the eyes. Okay. Now, this is interesting. I'm going to be zooming right in on the eyes here. Because a single coloured eye, I'm not so sure about. But I vaguely like the idea of, yeah, fire in the eye. Like it's actually a light. So black shiny on the eye is a base. But let's get out the brushes here. So a paintbrush, okay. We need to be a lot smaller. I just want to draw a kind of, yeah, feline eye in a bit of dirty red. Then put a little bit of orange there too. Then just a bit of yellow as well. Just to give him a... Oh, that's nice. I love that. I absolutely love it. Let's just turn around the other side. That is really nice. My solid gold dragon right there. Okay, I love him. Now, what needs more touches? Because some bits I just love. Like, say, the armor. Doesn't need any work on that whatsoever. What I do notice, however, is he doesn't have, like, separate colours on his toenails. Or, like, talons, I suppose. Which I feel like he should do. Just this bit at the end. This bit at the end should be your toenail or your talon or whatever. So that should match the rest of it. And I'm pretty sure I didn't give you... Hang about. Yeah, I didn't give you enough over here. Like, right up to the first joint is A-OK. So zoom out a bit there. That's better. What else needs some patterning? Because I feel like right now he's a bit too clean. Like, this guy has fought fights before, or rather, he pretends to, while sitting in the corner of his mother's basement, that he is set up to look like a volcano. So, he needs some scarring, or like, if not scarring, then burns. Here we go, just the lightest touch in places along the tail here. Doesn't need to be much, just the littlest bit here. Littlest bit. Let's just get right under the tail. The underside of the tail should have some scuffs on it. And to be honest, so should his feet. If you look under his feet, there should be scuffs. Now, I know this is going to go, like, on the platform, so no one's ever going to see this. But it's just important to me that he's got scuffs on his feet. In fact, there should be scuffs on the visible bits of his feet too. And just loop around to the other side. That just gives a bit of depth to his feet right there. I think that's a lot better. Like, does he need it elsewhere too? Just a little bit. Just the slightest bit of grunge and grime on the visible bits of his skin. But not the scales. The scales should be immaculate because dragons are proud and want to look good in their Instagram photos. So they'd be shiny and perfect. And then there's the gigantic cod piece, which... that's the bit that stands out, doesn't it? Actually, it might just be the level of shininess. If I just put a similar coloured matte paint over the top, just give it a bit of texture right there. That doesn't stand out anywhere near as much anymore. So, okay. I think I'm pretty happy with him. The only thing I'm not sure about is, should the horns have some form of, like, decoration, anything of that nature? Like, say, you know, go faster stripes. Not all the way along, but I think there should be, like, a continuation of his hairline along the horn. At least a little bit of a way around here. So I'm just going to paint that on and see how I feel about it going forward. And I just put that to about there-ish. Just fill that in. And I might want to... I want to continue that on this line, actually. You know what? I like that. I think that works. I think I'm going to continue that same effect on this side as well. So we're just going to put that in. And I think from this angle, yeah, I like it. What I don't like, however, is his solid silver ears have, like, no interior. I'm just going to put the slightest bit of... there we go. Now his ears have actually got, like, an organic component in them, which I think works really well. And that means that we can start pulling things together. So this can now actually go over to here. Hang about. No, none of this. Back over to the workspace, please. Oh, there he goes. That works really nicely together. Okay, next up, the shield. And we're not going to attach it straight away, for the simple reason that we've got to do the inside. So, okay, we know what we're doing here. The base bit of the shield should be no trouble whatsoever, because the fastenings are going to be noble gold. And, okay, these bits are 3 distinct layers. So as a starting point, we know what the colours that kind of make up this guy are. So we've got the shiny black, we've got copper, and we've got the metallic blue down bottom. Now that, I feel, does not work. Okay, it was worth a go, saying, hey, this could be like a representation of his armour. But I feel like that does not work at all. So the fastenings are fine. Back to the drawing board for this shield. Now, I did say I might bring back the volcanic pattern for the shield, unless I would rather have a lava axe. Now, let's have a little bit of a look-see at that, because we know his skin is supposed to be purple, and his scales are supposed to be silver, and this armor, which is, that's by his hand. So that'll be, yeah, that's kind of by the shoulder piece. So that should be in the metallic dark blue that we had previously. So that's all absolutely fine. The question then is, yes, what we do with the, ooh. I mean, now that, if I can just get the right blend of things, detail to smoothness. Here we go, detail 100, smoothness 22. I'm going to be honest, I'm down for the lava axe. I think the lava axe is pretty amazing. And then what we do is, yes, this should be like black, but not full-on black. I say that, I've just selected ultimate black. Oh, that's the one. Yes. Now, I need something that goes with this. How about noble gold for... that might be okay. I mean, given, yeah, these fastenings should be, yeah, noble golds. I'm okay with that for the fastening. I'm just not sure what this should be. And bear in mind, there's a rune pattern right here. I'm going to go for, yes, as a starting point, titanium skeleton on the handle. It just provides a little bit of differentiation between the handle and the actual axe right there. So my lava axe needs, well, one, okay. My lava axe also needs just a little bit of airbrushing of a tiny, tiny amount of carbon just to provide a bit of depth and whatnot. And don't forget, we also need to do the, yes, the washing tool. The washing tool was really, really nice. So just a tiny, tiny amount of red when we have got the dark oranges. And then against the yellow, the orange right there. Now there could be, oh, the orange up the handle. Oh yeah. Yeah. Not that strong, but just a little bit. Just to give the sense this is a magical artifact that just flows with. That makes it. That's so good. That's so much better than I had before. Just get over to here. And I'm okay if he's got a bit of it on his hand, because that just kind of indicates, hey, like, he's magical and lava. Oh, that's it. That actually makes it work. Like, I wasn't 100% sure about that wood choice, but with magical lava, that's amazing and I love it. You know, I spent a huge amount of time trying to figure out, like, which black should be in here. I actually like the noble gold. Like, the noble gold as the rune colour, but I think what it needs is a bit of washing to give it, like, yeah, just the tiniest amount of blackness around it. Like, if we give it a bit of shade, like round here, and just kind of make it look like it's, yeah, kind of ashy and burnt massively. Lower the size, by the way. And just give it a bit of a burnt outline to this whole thing. So it's like, it's a golden magical rune, but it's not. Oh, that's really nice. That's so nice. I love it. I have made beautiful decisions. So we're just going to give that all over. That is absolutely perfect. Which means he can now be given... Oh, look at that. This is just sad for the base thing down there. This is so much better. Now, the only downside is the shield. Because I feel like it can't be a volcano shield now, because that would take away from the axe. Okay, call me crazy, but like, this idea of the gold, silver, then bronze, which I just kind of like, in a way, by itself. I think those colours go together nicely. They are colours that are on him, just kind of like the minor colours. Okay, we're bringing him out. And we're going to see how I... You know what? I kind of like it. I kind of like that. The only downside is the copper very much goes directly into the other copper. So I feel like what we need to do is we just need to slightly darken that. Like, keep the idea of copper, but it needs to just be a little bit less. But not that. That's terrible. Actually, you know what? If I just give the shield a really good polish, so the shield is super reflective, way more than the rest of it, because obviously it's a magic shield. So any loser wizard tries to come along and cast magic, he just goes, nope, mirror shield, bounce, and it's amazing. There we go. There we go. That's nice. That's nice right there. And I don't like any other colour. But if I was to say, yes, just put a tiny, light amount of airbrushing over the top of this, just to darken it, the slightest amount. In fact, you know what? I'm going to give him that on every bit of the shield. I'm just going to give him the slightest bit of marks, because this is a shield that's seen combat before. Just like a little bit more over here. And there, that's nice. That's nice over there too. That was a bit much. We're just going to slightly paint over that one. There we go. Any bit that's too much, we can just slightly paint over. Alright, so I'm just going to give a tiny bit less to this. There we go. That gives that a bit more texture, I'd say. Because, yeah, this has seen combat before. He's been in fights, or at least he pretends to be. And then we just polish it up anyway. Because though it's battered, it's still polished. He still cares for his stuff. And speaking of which, he should have really good teeth. And the horns that should absolutely be shiny too. We're going to shine up the horns. And there we go. I would say, I think that's it. That is my dragonborn male fighter miniature right there. And I love him. I love him so much. He's amazing. I think he's turned out beautifully. Okay, so I see how people spend a lot of time and money on this hobby. Gotcha. I've been won over. You guys win. And even better, once you're done, if you're happy with him, you can display him right on your shelf. So whenever you're playing this game, he's just there, lit up for the rest of time. Now, admittedly, he's a tiny bit smaller than I thought he was. Like, in my head, I thought maybe he was like, I don't know, at least 6 inches tall. I'm feeling like maybe he's a tiny bit smaller than that, actually, yes. And of course, that's not all we've got here. There's a lot of other options. We've got tanks, boats, cars, rockets, different kinds of cars, different kinds of boats, different kinds of tanks, different kinds of boats again. And then even more boats, more cars, etc, etc, etc. Multiple different miniatures. And on top of that, we've got all sorts of stuff you can unlock during the campaign. Because this is just a sandbox mode. And also, weirdly, this game's got Frostpunk DLC. Where you can unlock, like, the Frostpunk stuff. Which, okay, strange crossover, but whatever. But yeah, this is what I needed today. This is lovely. I've had a lovely time working on my tiny, tiny dragon. Oh yeah, this could show up as a vote for a live stream. A super chill, lovely live stream. So, keep your eyes open. Hopefully, you're looking forward to that. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been many a true nerd. And this has been the wonderful Model Builder. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Were we doing virtual reality, or was that just like a metaphor for lesbian sex? And then he smacked me lightly across the face with the money! What? This is... well, where is this going? What's happening? We're gonna buy a whole new bin, and we're gonna write Brendan on it, and we're gonna put him in it and toss it off the pier.